Brett, my brother, is that you?
Hey, Louie, you got me? It's Brett Ciancia.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I just figure you had enough and you were out of here. I figure you just pieced out. You're like, nah, I don't feel like it today.
Nah, we got cut out. No, I would never miss talking college football. You know this, so I'm ready to break it down with you.
That's a true story. Brett Ciancia is with Pick Six Previews. They're the most accurate. How many years in a row have you won that title of the most accurate magazine?
Well, yeah, it was my 10th season was 2022, and then at that point I was eligible for the 10-year ranking, so I won it my first year there, and then I defended the 10-year title since. So in 22 and 23, 24, and 25, I've had the 10-year title. So looking to hold the title again this year with 2026.
Okay, how would you explain the accuracy of Pick Six Previews? Do you have a metric that never fails you? Is it a combination of things?
Yeah, well, first how they grade all of us publications, you know, the Lindy, Athlon, and all the magazines out there. They look at the conference prediction. So, you know, your SEC 1 through 16, your Big Ten 1 through 18, how close you are to that. So that's how we're scored against each other. And in that metric, I've been number one over the last 10 years, like I said. In terms of how I forecast the season, how I come to those picks, yeah, it's really a holistic approach. It's a 365-day process. Talking to head coaches, talking to coordinators, watching spring games, practice reports, you know, local reports. There's so many good beat writers on foot down there at practice every day. It's connecting with them. But then it's my numbers. I mean, I'm a numbers guy also. I have my advanced stats, my margin of victory numbers, and opponent adjustment numbers. That sounds boring, but I make it into a readable format, readable terms. I'm talking X's and O's and really breaking it down. But I'll tell you, since the transfer portal era, it has made it so much harder, so much more complex. Where basically I just go every position by position for every team. I look at who's in, who's back, who came in, where they come from, with their transfers. It really is like a room by room, player by player for the whole country. It takes all year.
So you have to pick every conference, but one through, right? You don't even, because I thought maybe you just pick the champion or even the top three. Because I got to figure getting the top 3 or 4 has to be easy-ish, but picking like the bottom 4 has to be tougher because anybody can just have a tanked season. I mean, is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think sometimes picking the champion's the easiest part. And when you go down there, it's really hard, some of these conferences, to really separate out, say, like 5th through 8th. You know what I mean? Like the middle of the pack teams in each conference. A lot of it ends up coming, if they're so close talent-wise, a lot of it comes down to schedule. The way that they have these unbalanced conference schedules year to year where some teams draw the easy teams and others get all the hard ones. So, yeah, it is really hard. And that's where these accuracy titles are won and lost, is in the middle tiers of the conferences, because you could really have a different view on a team. And, you know, maybe my magazine has them 4th in the conference and another one has them 12th. That's a lot of space there. That's a lot of points at stake head to head. So, yeah, it's really on those margins. It's the teams you don't really think about as much, but they're like life or death for the prediction accuracy business. So, yeah, that's why with every single team, I give them the same amount of time and energy and resource and research because you got to be sharp on all these teams. You know, you can't take it easy on a couple because that might make or break the whole deal.
So people are really big on underdogs, breakthrough teams. Are they real? I know there's 1 or 2, but is there enough across the conferences that it's a thing? Like, does every conference have them? Is there enough of them that they're a factor in decision making?
Yeah, well, it'd be nice if we all knew that in August who those dark horse teams are going to be. That's the hardest thing, is trying to pinpoint where they are, because they usually tend to be in the bottom half of the conference in the preseason rankings from their media days or the coaches poll. And then they end up surprising in September, October, November. So, yeah, I mean, usually when you look back at the end of a season, there are a couple that came out of nowhere. But it's trying to at least be higher on those teams than the rest. You know, like nobody called for Indiana to win the national title last year, but you wanted to be at least higher on them than the other magazines. So it's stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I used to only look at returning starters and then some of my advanced stats back in the day, back when we had a BCS and the Big East and the Pac-12, these old archaic things that we used to have. Now with the transfer portal, it's like you got to go 100% in. It's like 10 times the research, and you got to really dig in. So that's but also I think that's what brings value from my magazine. It's hard to keep track of just even your own favorite team in the off season, but this is a nice way, all in one place, to an enjoyable read, an informative read to catch up on your team and your opponents in your conference. So with it being more complex out there with the transfers, I think this book adds more value because of that.
Yeah, it's not just complex with the transfers. I think we've reached the point where, to be fair, that the average fan, I mean, the casual fan, even if you're a hardcore fan, I think it's impossible for us to fully quantify anymore. Because, again, well, let's see, Oklahoma State had 60 plus, LSU had 40 plus. There's no way to quantify that. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's why if you're just looking at names on a paper, like if you look at their transfer class on one of the websites, it just has their name and where they came from. There's no information. You know, was this guy a starter? Was this guy all conference? That's why in the magazine there, like I highlight the important ones: who's going to start, who's going to be a key member of the team, like why they added them as a transfer, and if they were all conference or a starter elsewhere. Like even this thing, it sounds silly, but of an all American team, an all SEC team, I had to put in an all transfer team just to pick out like the best, transfer lineman, the best transfer.
Love that.
Defensive, so like at a quick glance, to your point, you look at the Big 12, it's a lot of orange for Oklahoma State on there, and you look at the SEC, you got a lot of purple and yellow for LSU. So it's an easy glance to see like where the best transfers are going and where they're coming from.
I think I saw that Oklahoma State was ranked others receiving votes in that coaches that came out a week ago.
Yeah.
And top 45, 40, which sure, why not? But isn't that insane with 60-plus transfers?
Yeah, that would be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, turnaround from 2025. You look back at Oklahoma State last year, it was awful. I mean, they were 1-11. They were blown out almost every week. I remember watching Oklahoma State play Oregon in the third game of the year, and it looked like a high school varsity team playing against a middle school team. And I don't say that loosely. It's like they did not know how to play football. They threw back-to-back pick sixes on 2 passes. It was unbelievable. So anyway, it's basically a whole new roster. I mean, all those players in, that also means 80 players transferred out, new coaching teams, both sides of the ball. I think what you're going to find is one of the best improved offenses. At least that side of the ball, I'm confident with Oklahoma State, because you're picking up that whole unit from North Texas and from Denton, Texas, right, and dropping it into Stillwater, Oklahoma. And we know how that looks. It was a top 5 passing offense. You've got an NFL quarterback with Drew Mestamaker, a proven head coach there with Eric Morris. So I know what that offense is going to look like, and it's going to be a top 25 unit. Now the question is defensively, because they're not as heralded on that side of the ball. So that's your question. So it might be one of those old-fashioned 2010s Big 12 where they got to win 55-54 every week and grind out some shootouts. But I think they will be improved. I think they'll make a bowl. I don't know how much higher you can forecast from there. Like, they're not a top 25 team for me, but certainly a bowl team, and will be fun to watch on offense.
Shoot, you go from 1-11 to bowl. That's Coach of the Year material. Come on now, 60. That's Coach of the Year material. I have a text message for you, Brett, and it's simple. Joe in College Station. We talked about this, but it's a reset never hurts. It reads from Joe in College Station. It reads, Lou, that's me. How does he have A&M finishing this year?
Yeah, well, I think always you want to start back at last year. I think an incredible season for them, starting 11-0. Came up short there against Texas, but did make the playoff. That was like a huge piece of the checklist for Texas A&M as a program. So I thought they cashed in, made the playoff. That was impressive. When you look at it, when I started my research process, I was doubtful. I mean, when you look at the lines of scrimmage, because out of the 5 O-line and the 4 D-line, you were losing 7 starting defensive linemen. So I was worried right away. With that said, I thought they backfilled really well, bringing in some key pieces from the transfer portal. Anto Saka, the defensive end from Northwestern, he's a top 10 projected draft pick in the country. So I like what they have off the edge now. A couple 5-stars are rising into full-time roles on the D-line. I'm confident with an Elko defense. O-line, 4 starters gone. They went out and added 4 starters off SEC lines themselves, starters. Now they're from lines that might have struggled a bit last year, but I think individual talent is fine. I don't think it'll be as elite of an O-line as last year, but it'll still be fine. So long story short, I've got them in the top 15 nationally. I've got them 13 in the country heading into the season. That's good for 6th in the SEC right now, and that probably has them in that 9-win range. And I can already hear the arguments coming in late November about which 9-win and 9-3 resume is better. It's going to be the year of 9-3. And, maybe flip one of these coin toss games their way, and they're in the playoffs. So that's where I've got them. They're the second team out of the bracket for me right now. But within this SEC, I mean, that's a game away. You're a game away from being back in the bracket.
Well, I got to ask. You said they're the second team out of the college football playoff. Who's the first?
LSU. So the way I've got it is, it's a shame that the G5 gets a spot. I know there are fans of those teams out there, and sometimes occasionally you get like a really serious team like a Boise State, but anyway, that 12th spot is taken. So you really got to look at the top 11 teams in the country. I have 4 from the Big Ten, 4 SEC, and then the ACC champ Miami, the Big 12 champ Texas Tech, and I do think Notre Dame gets in there to steal a spot. So that puts it at so I have LSU as the last team out, 5th SEC, 12th overall, and then A&M right there at 6th SEC, 13th overall. But again, I mean, you play LSU head-to-head. You got to go into Baton Rouge, but you catch them early in their big transfer season. And then maybe you're a game away from flipping that into being one of the 4 SEC teams. So, again, there's a lot to like from the roster. I like that D-line. I think they reloaded well. The secondary stands out. It's my number 6 secondary in the whole country. And then you look at the receivers, they're my number 4 receiver group in the country. I thought that despite losing Casey Concepcion, they reloaded really well, bringing in Isaiah Horton, the Alabama starter, to pair with Mario Craver, and a couple of 5-stars that are coming up the ranks. I'm sure you guys are on foot down there at fall camp and hear about these guys breaking out. But with Bussy, I think he's got a lot of potential. And Bethel Roman should be moving up the ranks there. So I love the receiver room. And, of course, Marcel Reed. He had a special season. I know it faded in the last game, but he was a Heisman candidate about most of October, most of November. So I like A&M. They got the total package. It's just a crowded top of the conference. I've got them right on the outside, but really in the thick of it.
So with your 9-win and second team out prediction, what the number 1 game that would swing them into your top 11 and flip your prediction? It's going to be game 11 next to last week when the Aggies are in Norman to take on OU. If the Aggies win that would flip your script. They would actually flip spots with OU because you have OU in the playoff. That would be A&M's 10th win and flip OU out with A&M in.
Yeah, I agree with you. Those last 3 games in November, I mean, it really closes with a bang. You host Tennessee, who I've got 15th in the country, a couple spots behind A&M, but right there. A road trip to Norman, a team that I've got in my top 10, and then hosting Texas again. And you know how bitter that rivalry is, and having it there on Thanksgiving weekend, it's going to be special. That could be a play-in game again because all 3 of those teams, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas, and A&M, of course, themselves, they're all going to be right in the mix in November. So it's all about that November. Now, with that said, you don't want you don't want to blow a tire in September or October either because they're going to be favored in definitely the first 3 games. The road trip to LSU, we'll see how that turns out. It's kind of a mystery team. But I have A&M going into Tuscaloosa and winning there in late October. I think that they're the better team, and despite it being in Alabama, I'm going to call for A&M to win it. So you're right, man. It's going to come down to late November, as it should. And you know what? To that point, I keep hearing about this expanded playoff, this 24, or I don't know. Eli Drinkwitz probably wants a 65-teamer. It's called November. That's our playoff. You get to play them on campus, all the stakes, 100,000 strong in the stands. That's your playoff. So, you got Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Texas. That's your expanded playoffs. That's when you go prove it.
Amen. Amen. Oh, yeah, I just said it. Amen to that one. Hey, Brett, quick timeout. Come back. Mute. Let's talk more college football.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Brett Ciancia of Pick 6 Previews. He's been joining us Mondays, getting us ready, getting us hyped. Let's doing some prep for the upcoming college football season. Joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. A lot of guests do. Sometimes I say caller 5 now. You do too. If you ever look for some forestry, mulching, pond construction, d4landservices.com. And if you ever need help with your land, just getting it fixed up, cleared, or excavated, go to d4landservices.com. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Monday on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Listen to The Zone on the Zone app. Thanks to Loyalty Plumbing. The pros at Loyalty Plumbing are ready to serve you 24/7. 24/7. For big emergencies or small.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, industrial services is what they do at CC Electric. We're joined again, Brett Ciancia, Pick 6 Previews. Hey, Brett, where can people go if they want to check out, everything, anything, all things Pick 6 Previews, including, hey, I got to buy me a copy.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's only available at pick6previews.com. Award-winning preview magazine to get you ready for college football season. But, we got testimonials over there. Stanford Steve, SVP, Chris Felica. It's been pretty cool so far seeing where it's gone this year. But testimonials, sample pages, so you can see the detail we do for every team. We have a digital copy, a PDF, and then also a hard copy. So if you buy the hard copy, I give you the digital right away, too. So for those couple days where it's being shipped, you get access. And then if you love the magazine, you'll love the in-season product as well. Get my picks, my projections updated every week. It's kind of like having the magazine refreshed every week for you, called Pick 6 Plus. So, yeah, thanks so much, Louie. It's that time of year. It's magazine season.
Oh, it's well, I don't know. With the work you do, it's year-round. So I don't know if it's just that time of the year. I've been telling people, like, having you on, and this is the fourth Monday, this has been prep, man. This has been getting ready for the season. The knowledge you've been dropping on us, we did SEC. We did the rest of college football. We did, the college football predictions and more. This has just been prep, man. This has been like soul food, college football soul food, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I love going into parts of the country that love it as much as I do. I know how Texas feels about football and high school football and college football. And I'm right there with you. Now, unfortunately, I'm based out of Pennsylvania, where it's all Eagles talk and LeBron Sixers talk. So That's why I got to go all over the country. I got to find my spots. I know the College Station, Brian. I mean, all over Texas, they got it. Last year, I made it a point to go see it live, and me and my friend, we went down to cover a Permian Panthers game in West Texas. We saw the Friday Night Lights movie and read the book and all that, and wanted to experience it. So we did a Mojo Friday night, and then drove up to see Texas Tech host BYU for College Game Day, and it was pretty cool. Field access, the whole bit, and got to see all the Mojo history. So anyways, seeing Texas live like that, I got to get back to the state. I got to see all these Texas programs, man, and A&M's at the top of the list. Looks like an incredible atmosphere when you watch on TV.
You could do that yearly, coming to the state. Go I don't say a different game. You did the Texas Tech, do an A&M, you do a Longhorn. I mean, you could come back to the state every year, do a different part, have a different experience, adventure, and think it's glorious every time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I want to see some of that East Texas football too, man. And, whenever you see the 5 stars come out, the top recruits, the top NFL draft picks, it feels like they're always coming from that part of the country, that part of the state. So, yeah, I want to see it all. And hopefully it's an annual tradition. We'll see what I could do this year. But, yeah, man, so thanks for having me. It's been great catching up, getting ready for the year. The biggest coaching carousel we've ever seen, and with that brings a lot of uncertainty, a lot of variability in terms of these teams for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be must-see television right away from week 0. We're getting close here, best time of year. And, I've been happy to be on with you every Monday.
Pick6previews.com. Pick6previews.com. Wait, did you just say you're willing to join me weekly? Am I mishearing this?
No, I said I was thankful to be on weekly, but hey, if that's an invite, I'd gladly come on, man. It's been great.
I'll tell you something right now. I'm going to send you an email when I get done at 2 o'clock, because I'm like, hey, I'd like to have this dude on during the season, because like the knowledge that you have and the things you're breaking down, this is a conversation that doesn't have to end. So I will send you an email, dude. I would love to have you join us throughout the season.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. It'd be an honor. And yeah, it's fun too, because I noticed once the season starts, we spend all off season researching and talking about it. But once that thing kicks off, it's like 50 games right away. Bam. And it's hard to really catch up. So that's what I do. I mean, I'd spend all Sunday, all Monday catching up, looking at condensed games, looking at reports of games, and really catching up. That way you're caught up for the next week. It's like drinking from a fire hose, but that's what we do.
Watching all the games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, such a hard life, right? Now it's the best time of year, the best day of the week, Saturdays. But just being able to catch up on so much live action so quick, that's what I can bring to you guys. That's what Pick 6 Plus, the weekly product, provides. So. Yeah, would love to talk with you, man, and it's been a good summer so far.
Again, don't worry. You got an email coming between 2 and 3 o'clock today Central Time. That's already a done deal. Now, okay, explain for people in season, the Pick 6 Plus, what do you update? Like, what can we expect?
Yeah, so no matter if you're a bettor or just a diehard fan, it's kind of got everything you'd like. So, I mean, you go to the Texas A&M page, it's got all the advanced stats, all the rushing, the passing, offense, defense, my offensive line metrics, so all the numbers for the team, and then their schedule, of course, but then their projected lines for every game going forward. So you could see, all right, based off these first couple of games, these first performances, let's see how A&M is favored against Alabama in October, against Tennessee and Oklahoma. November. So, like, the lines update throughout the season. And then each week I have my picks, what my power ratings would suggest the line should be. So if Vegas has A&M by 7 and I think it should be by 10, I'll put it in there and say, hey, there's some value here. There's a lean for A&M here by 3 points. So all those kind of picks, if you're into that, information and stats, if you're into that, game recaps. If you didn't watch if you were at Kyle Field all day, you didn't watch what happened in the ACC or the Big 12, you log on to Pick 6 Plus here, hits your email box every Tuesday. It's got game recaps for every single game. A couple sentences here and there so you know what happened. And, yeah, we got samples up there. We got testimonials. The Vegas people love it. The VSiN channel, the Vegas Sports Info Network, they love Pick 6 Plus. And, I mean, people all across the country are enjoying. But I also find it's nice to have it in one spot. It's a PDF. I email it to you directly every Tuesday. That way it's there. You just click it, and you can do whatever you want with it. All the info is there at your fingertips. So, yeah, thanks so much. I mean, it's been great last year. We're bringing it back here this year. All Power 4, and then also an FBS package. If you really like those small conferences, too, MAC and Mountain West and Sun Belt, we got all that in there, too.
Brett, before we let you roll, and since we recapped A&M, I feel like this would fit people's interest levels. You know, we did SEC media days. Who are your top 3? Who are your college football playoff teams from the SEC?
Well, Georgia at the top. They're my pick to win the conference. They're the defending champs. They bring 14 starters back, most of that defense. It's like a classic Kirby Smart championship defense. So I like Georgia at the top. Also an easier schedule, as if they needed any extra help. So Georgia. Then I've got the Red River teams. I got Oklahoma and Texas both as playoff picks. I think they're both going to be in that 10-win range. I love Oklahoma's defense. I love Texas's transfer portal acquisitions around Arch Manning. Just a really talented, high-spender roster. And then the last spot into the playoff, I've got Ole Miss. I thought it was a no-brainer. I see the betting markets are not agreeing with me. I like Ole Miss. They showed us last year what they're made of. They bring back their quarterback. We already saw how they play for Pete Golding, their new head coach. They're keeping the scheme the same that worked on offense for Trinidad Chambliss. And they invested so much into their defense with 8 4-stars coming in. So I love Ole Miss as a complete team to return to the playoff.
Yeah, looking at Ole Miss, it feels like the only thing that could stop them is Pete Golding. He had a great playoff run, but he inherited the situation. We don't know if he can run an entire offseason. We don't know if he can run an entire program. We don't know if he can run an entire in-season. I'm not doubting him, but you got to prove it, right?
That's true.
It feels like the only thing that would stop Ole Miss from making the CFP actually is Pete Golding. They have one of the best offenses in the country. And then defensively, you just said it, they brought in the talent they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly that's on the questions list for them is the new head coaching role for Pete Golding. Also, I look at their offensive tackles. Both those are gone. They do bring back their interior O-line, but yeah, the tackles are gone. The receivers, a lot of them are gone. A couple went to LSU with Kiffin, and a couple graduated. So, yeah, they are reloading at receiver. So there's questions. You got questions with every contender, but I like the total package there. Right next to them, though, I've got LSU, Texas A&M, even Tennessee and Alabama, that next wave, but really that's like a game away. You flip one of those games, and you're talking about a playoff team. So the deepest conference at the top for sure is the SEC. And I could argue 8 different teams that make the playoff. Not all at once, of course, although we'd love to see it. But 8 separate teams that could argue a playoff run.
So before I let you roll, because the way this always works in my head, if you pick 4, one of them's kind of guaranteed not to make it, right? That's a good rule of thumb. So which dark horse SEC team? Because one team never expected always makes it in SEC. That's the nature of the depth of the league. So which one of your 4 teams do you want to remove, and which team nobody expects will replace them?
I think I would toss out Texas just off their last year's performance. Like my power ratings had them 22nd in the country last year. There were a lot of close margin wins, a lot of punt returns that bailed them out of late games. Like think of the Mississippi State game, even the Oklahoma game, a punt return flipped that. And you tend to not see special team flukes, like not flukes, but special teams doesn't tend to translate like that year to year. So I want to see more from their lines of scrimmage to call for a playoff. I mean, I've got them in there, but that'd be my team that I would say is that could maybe fail. You said an underdog type team. I think everybody's got A&M already on their radar, so I'll go further down the list. I'll go with Tennessee. You have Josh Heupel's offense. He's one of the best quarterback coaches and now head coaches in the country. Pair that offense with Jim Knowles' defense. This is one of the top defensive minds now coming to Tennessee. Built a championship defense with Ohio State and did it with less talent at Duke and Oklahoma State before that. So that pairing of Heupel with Jim Knowles on defense, I like that a lot from Tennessee. So, they're way outside the projections, but I would think that is a dark horse potential. I might even throw Auburn into this discussion. Maybe not playoff, but a team that no one's talking about. I love what they did with their hire of Alex Golesh. Again, a potent offense paired with a proven defense that they've got at Auburn already. So those are some off the grid. I think Tennessee for playoff, and then Auburn for maybe like an 8 or 9 win season off the cuff.
Brett, thank you for the time. Thank you for the knowledge. Dude, we're going to be talking again soon. I'll hit you up with an email. We will be talking again soon.
Thanks, Louie. Have a good day, man. Appreciate
be awesome, man. Brett Ciancia of Pick 6 Previews. Look, if you want to check out his work, you're interested in that old subscription, you're like, this sounds cool, go to pick6previews.com. Pick6previews.com. We'll be right back. It is the Louie Bellina Show. Inside the Charles Schwab studio, I am low-cost, full-service, best of all local. That is Schwab. That is Charles Schwab. And I said best of all local. That is Sim. That is Mark Sim right here in College Station. Look him up online right here in College Station. Look Mark up online at schwab.com/College Station. It is the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Activate. Spend your Aggie football Saturdays, starting with the game day show, to the game, to the call-in show, and only on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
You know, your air conditioner isn't a luxury, right? It's something that you deserve. It's your comfort. If you're having air conditioner problems, Still Creek Mechanical. They are Aggie-owned and operated. They've been serving the Brazos Valley for 20 years. If you're having air conditioner problems, you already know it. You wonder, my AC sure seems to work hard. I don't seem to get a lot of results. Why is my electric bill so high? Maybe it's because your air conditioner doesn't work right. Set up an AC consultation today with Still Creek Mechanical. The website, you can set it up there, stillcreekmechanical.com, stillcreekmechanical.com, and you can call them at 595-4253. That's 979-595-4253. 979-595-4253. And here's the thing. If you go, hey, Louie Bellina Show, just say the Zone, guess what? You get $100 off for repairs. With Still Creek Mechanical, Louie Bellina Show, the Zone, $100 off for repairs. It all helps. Check it out for yourself at stillcreekmechanical.com, stillcreekmechanical.com. Time is running out. At 2 o'clock, it's the Paul Feinbaum Show, powered by Polaris Fun Center. At 4 o'clock, Chip Howard Sports Talk. Chip is back. And then tonight, 8:15, the Astros and the Giants. Thanks to Kelly Burke-Dozer. Astros baseball in the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM is thanks to Kelly Burke-Dozer. Over the weekend, Astros took the Friday game 6-3. Scored early, scored often. Run in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Game was over at that point. 6-3, Astros take the Friday game. Cam Smith hit 2 bombs. He's actually up to 15. I wonder if he can finish with 20. No, that might be a big ask. Cam Smith is on a week-long hot streak. I know I've seen a lot of people declaring that he's breaking out, breaking through, and he's done this each year. And let's talk in 3 weeks about Cam Smith. Ronel Blanco continues to be awful as a starter, but the Astros have no options. Who cares? Bullpen was epic Friday night. Sousa, Blue Balls, Okert, Abreu, and Hader. I think it's official when I always say talk to me in 2-3 weeks, but Brian Abreu's back. It's only taken 4.5 months, but Brian Abreu is officially back. And Hader is perfect. Perfect. His 16th save. In save situations, he's been perfect. I mean, in non-save, it's not like he's been rocked like a hurricane. Astros won Friday. That was it for the weekend. They had a rough rest of. Well, okay. Saturday game felt like a playoff game. 3-2 Padres. Astros tried to rally in the ninth, came up short. Lambeau took the loss. Peter Lambert, he went 5, gave up 2 runs. He gave up 3 runs, only 2 were earned. And due to the very costly mistake, giving up that unearned run, which was the game-winning run, his pitch count went up high, so he couldn't go 6. Another great bullpen night with De Los Santos and King, who neither pitched on the Friday. Offense never got going. And then Sunday was just an annihilation. The Astros lost 7-2 in a game that was not even as close as the score. They had 2 hits. Varsho, remember the Astros traded for him? It was their big blockbuster trade deadline deal. Eric Getty goes to the Blue Jays. Varsho comes over. He was batting cleanup, but he's been awful since he came over. He hit a 2-run shot. That was in the second inning. Astros led 2-0, middle of 2. The Padres retired the next 22 straight Astros. Yeah, 7-2, not as close as the score. Christian Javier was awful. The bullpen was awful. The offense was awful. Astros lost the series. They've lost 2 straight. It was awful. But Varsho, hey, look. Get comfortable with the new hitting coach. Get comfortable with the new team and new uniform. Looks down, doesn't even feel like himself. Patience. His first homer as an Astro was last night. It was his first extra base hit. And ever since he came over, he's 3 for 21. But here's the thing. On the year, he's only hitting .237 with 8 homers. So I don't know what the expectation was for him. Christian Javier has been awful as a starter, great as a reliever. Someone has to start for the Astros. I understand. They don't have 6 starters. They do a 6-man rotation. I don't believe in the opener concept, but if I've seen a pitcher who I think for Houston, specifically Astros, that could maybe want to experiment, Christian Javier. He actually has been so good in relief and can't start. I don't understand. I would maybe think about trying a starter for him if you're an opener for him. If you're going to start him, I would actually do an opener. The Astros starting pitching is just, it's bad. The bullpen's actually scarily shaping up to be phenomenal, and the offense is pretty hit and miss. So the Astros lose Saturday, Sunday after winning the Friday opener. Do you remember when they won 11 of 12? They've now lost 4 of like their past 6. It has been the Astros roller coaster year. The Texas Rangers, they had a pretty rough weekend themselves, losing 2 out of 3. So the smoke is cleared. As we woke up this morning, the Astros are 1 game above 500, 60 and 59. Lost 2 straight. They have a half game lead over the Texas Rangers, who are 59 and 59. Half game lead. 1 game above 500. Holy cow. The Mariners are 4 back. Just to tell you how close this is, here is your Sportsline updated projections. The Astros are projected to win 81.9 games, and the Rangers are projected to win 81.1. So, using the round up, round down system, the Astros should win 82 games, and the Rangers should win 81. Remember this. The Astros have already won the boot, which means that's another game. So that half game is 1.5. Oh, this is so messy. This is going to come down to the final Sunday. The Astros will have no one to throw. Eric Getty will have thrown back-to-back no-hitters for the Blue Jays at this point. Oh. The week ahead. Astros wrap up their West Coast road trip Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the Giants. Travel back home, Seattle Mariners, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This might be their longest remaining homestand of the year. 9 games, all West Coast teams. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mariners. The next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Angels. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, A's. if you take a look at the next 2 weeks, it would behoove the Astros to make some hay. Because other than not one team has an above 500 record in between the Giants, Mariners, Angels, and A's. Most of them have very below 500 records. Giants are awful. So this is their chance. It's time to breathe. It's time to get healthy. It's time to pad some stats. It's time to win some games. I mentioned the Rangers. I apologize for that, but still. Saturday, they beat Baltimore. Sunday, Baltimore took the series 10-5. The week ahead, speaking of padding your stats, the Rangers, and Rusty Burson has pointed this out to me actually, the Rangers have the most bizarre of problems. They beat good teams and then lose to really bad teams. Well, they played the really bad this week. They got 4 with the Angels in L.A., and then they traveled to Sacramento, Vegas, not Oakland. So it's the Angels Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the A's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday before they travel back home. But they can't beat bad teams. Updated power rankings, CBS Sports. Astros are 12. Even though they went 11-1, and now they've lost 4 of their last 6. So Astros are 12. Rangers are 13, and they've won. So the Astros have lost 4-6. Now the Rangers have won 4-5. But unfortunately, now they play the easy teams. They're about to get murdered. Top 5 teams in MLB, according to CBS. Brewers 1, Rays 2, Braves 3, America's team, the most beloved of all, Cubs are 4. And don't fool yourself with the Dodgers at 4. When the playoffs start, they're going to steamroll everyone because they will care again. The bottom 3 teams in MLB. A's 28. Everybody hug Matt Simon because his Rockies are 29 again. And there's no point. I don't understand why the Angels even play. They are 30. There's no point to their franchise. Up next, when we return, peace and out. We'll wrap up the Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Monday on the Zone, 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM.
Spend your summer with the Zone.
Summer. Yeah.
The Zone, 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM, where football has no off season.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Residential, Commercial, Industrial Services. The Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab, they remain invested in their clients, and that can be you, by offering personalized guidance and clarity. It's personalized because we got Mark Sim right here in College Station. Go get answers to your questions. Just go learn more at schwab.com/College Station. 5 things you need to know. It's before we head out the door. Most of it's from the weekend, things I didn't get a chance to jump into. Dak Prescott, NFL Pro, ranked him like the number 31 player for the upcoming season. That's not what you need to know. Dak Prescott had a 19.7% tight window throw rate in 2025. And when I saw that, I go, and don't know if that's good or bad. Well, they gave me the and because that's all I really care about. That was the highest in the NFL. He was the best at making the tight window throw. He completed a league-high 42 window attempts, including 3 tight window touchdowns. So Dak Prescott, the best quarterback in the league, throwing into the tight window. Number 2, Laramie Tunsil. Houston Texans fans will remember him well. He was the 1 penalty a game min O-lineman. And he signed with the Washington Commanders, traded, got the extension, is the best way to put it. And he became the first ever $30 million per year offensive lineman. Signed a 2-year, $60.2 million extension. And it totally reset the left tackle market. And did you know it was the second time in his career that he became the highest paid left tackle? Second time he did it. He was acquired by the Commanders from the Texans via trade this last offseason. Well, devastating news. He is going to have surgery for a torn tricep. Most likely he's missing most, if not all, of the upcoming season. Turned 32 years old last Sunday. And he has long been viewed as one of the best left tackles. PFF ranked him as the number 6 best offensive tackle this past season, 2025. 15 total pressures, 2 sacks. Now, the downside, he probably had 25 penalties, but still ranked 6th overall. Number 3. These are the 5 things you need to know before we head out of here. But number 3, Don Nelson passed away this past weekend. Chip has got Don Nelson stories for you. Make sure you listen to Chip today if you love Don Nelson. But, Chip has Don Nelson stories. Don Nelson was 86. 5-time NBA champion, 3 coaches of the year. And Don Nelson, as a player with the Celtics, won titles 66, 68, 69, 74, and 76. Then he became an assistant with the Bucks. And people are going to remember, OG NBA, Golden State Warriors, Run TMC. And they spent 8 years with the Dallas Mavericks. So a lot of people remember him from the Mavs day. He was a fascinating person and a fascinating coach. And Chip's got stories. Number 4, I got a must read for you if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Which right now, if you're a Cowboys fan, you've been in hell for about 20 years. And this is a good read. This is happy, happy, joy, joy. The Athletic has this incredible article about why won't the Cowboys ever retire number 88. It's more than just a number. It's from this morning, 5:10 a.m., so it's new. It is phenomenal. Why won't the Cowboys ever retire number 88? It's more than just a number. So, CeeDee Lamb is the current number 88. Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant, CeeDee Lamb. And they talk about how it started January of 1973. Drew Pearson was not selected. Reported to Cowboys camp. They gave him number 13, kind of reflecting how he had no chance. In between the 2-a-day practice and that camp, Drew Pearson worked a job with Merchant Van Lines for $10 an hour, loading trucks with refrigerators, TVs, and so forth. When finally, Roger Staubach loved this guy, he had to choose between 85 and 88, and he picked 88, and that's where it all begins. So check it out. The Athletic, why won't the Cowboys ever retire number 88? Check it out for yourself. Finally, number 5. The Protect College Sports Act failed to reach the Senate floor for vote. Lawmakers have recessed until September. There's all the talk that when it comes back, it's going to pass. Unfortunately, when the lawmakers come back, they have to deal with re-elections, making it even less likely that this will be relevant at that time. I got to go. I'm back tomorrow. This has been the Louie Bellini Show presented by CC Electric.